Hey everybody.
I'm Mo.
And I'm Katie, and this is
The Mo and Katy Show.
How's everybody doing?
Can you tell that it's nighttime? You may or may not see the moon rise. We did our best to hide it. The moon.
Oh, because it's a full moon.
I'll show you a full.
No, nope. Please don't.
Anyway, so one of the things that we use to describe ourselves, and honestly, if you know us, this is 100% accurate. But we tell people that we are the unlikely offspring of Weird Al Yankovic, Laverne and Shirley, and
Mr. Rogers.
And so our positive disruptor that we're going to talk about today is Weird Al Yankovic. Although he would be a good one too.
He would be a good one.
Yeah. I don't think the world's ready for that. But yeah, I don't think you could. Anyway.
Yes, so today we're going to talk about Fred Rogers, who, if you grew up at the same time, now this is tapping into a painful part of your childhood, Mo, because you were not allowed to watch children's shows when you were a kid. I grew up watching Mr. Rogers, like, pretty faithfully. So you did not.
I did not. But I know the song, I know the cardigan, I know the tennis shoes.
Yeah.
Like I know all the things about him.
I'm going to keep making this face because I just have such like fond associations with Mr. Rogers.
Is that your fond associations? Wow.
That is my fond associations face.
If you see that in the wild, you'll know apparently it's a good thing.
Apparently. I'm thinking of something fondly.
No, but so in kind of learning about him, well, part of it was when I was a speaker on the cruise line, we would start in Pittsburgh, and that's where he's from, and they had actually a statue to Mr. Rogers, and so I kind of learned a little bit about him, not a lot, but a little bit. Like he was a music major.
Yes, and he went to Rollins College, which shout out to my pen pal Elaine, my longtime pen pal Elaine, because she went to Rollins as well.
Oh, cool.
So I thought that was kind of neat. But yeah, he was a music major. He was a pianist, and he wrote a lot of the songs that were on the show. And as a musician, like his stuff is really good. Like it's got some really cool chord progressions and stuff.
Wait, aside from the Beautiful Day in the Neighborhood, is there?
It's You I Like is one that he wrote, and it's just gorgeous. And there's a few other like little songs that he used to sing.
I only knew the Beautiful Day in the Neighborhood.
And his wife is also a music major. She actually went on to get like her master's in piano, and she like toured and played and stuff. Oh, cool. So she was a musician as well. So
was he a swimmer? For some reason, I had it that he's a swimmer.
Don't know.
It may be because
that's
his
Michael
statue.
Phelps.
Yeah. Oh, that's right.
Fred Rogers, Michael Phelps.
Yeah.
Easy to confuse.
No. I think it was because his statue was right on the river. I think.
Yes.
Maybe.
See,
I don't know.
But I saw the statue because you told me about it.
Yeah.
And I had a really I had an entire moment at the statue because as I got there was someone there and they were leaving. So I was actually there by myself, and it's got his voice constant on a loop superimposed.
Yeah.
And I just have such a tender association with him because he was just such a calming, peaceful, like presence in my childhood. Like, I'm not even kidding. Like there's something very special about him.
Yeah.
And so I get very like sentimental, but that was a cool experience.
Yeah. But the thing about his voice, I mean, part of the reason we're talking about him is the fact that he had this calming, like he was in touch with his emotions kind of thing. Like that was very counter to what was being thrown at kids for programming. Yeah. Not that I would know because I wasn't allowed to watch that. So, yeah. But his pacing was very anti the norm.
Yeah.
And I guess the fact that he would come in with his business coat from work theoretically and change out of his jacket and put the cardigan on, like his business coat was always like a more of a grayer, muted color.
And then he put on like a sweater, like a red or a yellow sweat, like a colorful sweater.
And then he always took off his work shoes and put on his tennis shoes, which I heard was because of the sound stage. Like he actually had the tennis shoes, but you know me, I'm gonna ruin all the symbolism and make it about the practicalities.
One or more of his sweaters are or have been in the Smithsonian too.
Yeah.
I've seen. So I don't know. I know he donated at least one.
Yeah.
So I don't know if there are more than that.
But so you kind of talked earlier about how his presence and his voice was a calming thing for you.
Yeah.
Well, I understood that when he would do that, when he would change out of his work blazer into his cardigan, into his switch of shoes, he was kind of resetting and saying,
Yeah.
okay, this is what's happening here. And
Yeah.
it was always, he did that every show, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And giving people permission. I feel like there's a big theme of giving permission that he did too. Like he talked a lot. He was one of the more groundbreaking people on children's television too, to talk about like big emotions, like fear or dealing with death or dealing with like things that were heavy, and he gave kids permission to feel those things. And also another thing is the whole land of make believe. So the train would go into the land of make believe. Now the puppets were a little terrifying. Have you ever seen a picture of Lady Elaine? Yikes. Yeah, but Lady Elaine was actually named, her name was Elaine.
Oh.
So a lot of his puppets were named after his family.
Okay.
And producers like Daniel Tiger was named, who's gone on to be another children's show actually. Daniel Tiger was like the guy who produced it. Daniel, his wife's first name was Sarah. So the queen's name was Sarah. So a lot of the people in
are you just puppet shaming him because you're a big Muppets fan?
No, they were terrifying. Yes. Lady Elaine was terrifying. But aside from that, the fact that he allowed kids to have like this, like it's okay to pretend and live in this land of make believe. And this was like a thing when I was a kid. Like I pretended a lot. Like I would make up a lot of like scenarios and pretend things. Like lived in this like land of pretend.
Like a doomsday prepper kind of?
Like a zombie apocalypse kind of girl. That's me.
If all the undead become animated,
I'm ready. Yeah. No, just I like to pretend. I like to just play.
Was he on every day or like once a week or?
I think he was on every day.
Oh, okay.
I think he was on public television every day. So.
Well, and didn't he also get funding for PBS? Because I think PBS, the funding was going to get cut. I may be getting this confused with a Friends episode when Joey was on a PBS telethon.
Hey, this is the Mo and Katy show. The one where Mo gets Mr. Rogers confused with Joey from Friends.
No, I got him confused with Michael Phelps because of the swimming thing. Remember? Keep up.
There's some sort of weird diagram happening right now.
There's always a Venn diagram. No, so like I know more about him not because I watched him and grew up with him, but I watched just because I learned him. And there was a movie that Tom Hanks did
recently. Yeah. There were two movies actually. There was a documentary that came out and then the Tom Hanks one. The documentary is phenomenal. Yeah. It's so good.
Do they mention anything about him swimming?
They did.
Okay. Well, I don't know.
Mr. Rogers did not win an Olympic gold medal.
I didn't say he did.
He did have 43 honorary degrees from different universities. 3 of them were posthumously, but he was awarded from 43 different institutions of higher learning honorary degrees besides the degrees he earned.
Well, that's better than writing a thesis and actually earning it. I don't know.
I think lazy. But I think that speaks to like how beloved he was, and Rosie's growling. How beloved he was and how much people respected his philosophy on life. But there's a list of them of 43 universities. Yeah. So
I think the thing I struggle with is, especially now, well, first of all, I talk fast. That's the one thing. Whenever I would public speak, my mom would be like, slow. My very first speech, my like official legit speech, my niece Jessica took off work early, went and picked up my mom, and brought my mom, and they sat in the front row, and I was speaking at the military women's memorial. Yeah, and my mom was in the front row, and I was just waiting for her to go slow down, but anyway, she didn't because I slowed down.
You get excited. Yeah, and you drink a lot of coffee. Do you remember the time you were mixing one of our early podcasts, and you were like, we were both like, why do we have the audio like set on some fast setting?
Yeah, we played it back.
No,
just us.
It's just the way we talk.
We were the anti Mr. Rogers. The Mrs.
Mr. Rogers
Smith?
is going slow down.
No, but I mean I think the thing about him that I really appreciate, and while we focus in on him as a positive disruptor, is we have all these commercials, right? And they're reading all the side effects for the drugs and all the legal things. And I always don't even know what the drug is for because I know I don't want that and all the things they rattle off because they have to, right? Because we're a litigious society. Look at your foot? Because I was trying to, because my bunny slippers are, because my work shoes are getting,
there they are. Yeah, buddy.
No, but I think we live in this society where we try to cram so much in. We're like, we have this 30-second spots. We're going to cram as much as we can in. Whereas he took that same amount of time. And because he slowed down, one of the things we talk about is pattern interrupt. So in a time where everything is rapid fire and fast, he would slow down. And that's actually what caught people's attention is the fact that he did slow down, that it was different.
And there's just something very safe and calming about him.
Yeah.
Just those are the words that come to mind. Is there was just something very like, Mr. Rogers is on, everything's going to be okay. That kind of feeling.
You'll notice he's not on now, so things are not okay. No, just kidding.
Well, well, and this is it's kind of interesting that out of the corner of my eye, I see your Snoopy and Woodstock dolls. That's your childhood Snoopy, right? Or no, it's your Snoopy from now, but
they're stuffed animals.
I'm going
They're not dolls. Are you though?
They're action figures. Charles Schulz, when he knew he was retiring, he wrote out his last Peanuts cartoon. He passed away that night. The reason he existed on this earth was to do that cartoon. And it wasn't like they stopped it because he passed. They planned on it being the last one, and he passed away that night.
Wow.
Fred Rogers died 2 years after they stopped broadcasting his show.
Really?
Mm-hmm. So it's just, I just think it speaks to like that's why he was put on.
Were they
Earth.
still filming them?
No, they stopped. No, they were still. I'm sorry, they were still broadcasting. They'd stopped filming them 2 years before. I think they had some like kind of batched. But he basically retired from what he did 2 years before he passed away.
Wow. How old was he when he died?
He was 74-ish.
Wow, that's young.
He was born in 28. So he would have been what, 98 if he were still alive. So.
This is the part where what did he die of?
Stomach cancer.
Oh.
Not sad.
Yeah. Okay, well let's bring it up a little bit. But no, but I think in a world where we're like trying to jam so much information, and again we focus on quality, quantity. Like he was more of a quality guy, and as unnerving as it is sometimes for us to slow down and kind of take a beat, and it's like I want to fill that space. Oh, that's unused airtime right there. I'm gonna grab it. You know what I mean?
Can I have your moments of silence?
Yeah,
like, can I use them?
It's the sound of silence.
But there's power in that.
Yeah.
There's power in that. And again, there was something just very reassuring. And I think this was a very like flashy time with children's television because Sesame Street was just being launched as well, kind of the same time. Yeah. Electric Company, which was awesome, but it was all just like sketch. Like everything was so fast. And just
I also was not allowed to watch that either because it was made for kids. Yeah, it's when your dad is 52 when you're born.
I had the record. Man, that sounds tiring because I'm 52.
Yeah, that does sound tiring.
And
no. Anyway.
Have you met you?
Yeah. I'm no Mr. Rogers.
I got to hold a baby today, but it wasn't my baby, so that's good. Anyway.
She don't want my own baby. The baby was handed to her. It's not
was
like
a consensual baby holding.
Anyway.
But at a time where they were trying to make education really super flashy, there was just something really disrupting about it. There was something where he was like, no, I'm going to do it this way.
Yeah.
Because this is the way it's supposed to be. And I think, I don't know, you're often reminding me to slow down because I tend to be
that's frightening
100 miles an hour, and sometimes I fall, sometimes I
she walk out with like one sleeve in her jacket and the other one's I'm like,
dude,
I know, but I'm like, are you taking it off or are you putting it on? That's the thing, right? So you're just like, Katie walks out of the car with her jacket, one arm in.
She's not lying.
I'm not lying, and the other arm out. You're like, I don't know whether to help you take your jacket off or to hold the other sleeve so you can put your jacket on.
I've never thought I had ADHD. Like, I don't consider myself like textbook ADHD because I have a kid who's ADHD. But there are times where I will be walking around and I literally only have one sock on because I was putting my socks on and I thought of something mid-sock. And I just got up and started walking around. One sock. Where's my other sock? In the other room where I was sitting and putting them on.
I'll give you a different perspective. As Katie and I do, we travel a lot for our MC gigs or for our variety shows or to do corporate trivia, which we love doing. We do. But when we travel, so a lot of times we will share a hotel room or share the living space when we travel. And
I know what you're going to say.
what am I going to say?
Go ahead. No,
Yeah.
go ahead.
All these places usually have dresser drawers, right? So again, when a drawer is open, I don't know. Excuse me while I get the dog.
She's going to get the puppy. You'll like the fact that she's getting the puppy because the puppy is very cute. Aww. The puppy wants to be on the bed.
Yeah. No, the
So what? Let me just finish what she's saying. I always close the drawers.
So when because and what you always say is I'm on to the next thing. So it's kind of like
next thing.
Like
She's not lying.
I open the drawer and I may or may not take something out, but we certainly don't close the drawer. That's for sure. Anyway. But here's what we want you to do. I think, to your point, Mr. Rogers made you feel safe and just comfortable and calmed and soothed, right? And again, a lot of it is that slow, methodical. He's there with you. He's very in the present, I think, is part of that thing. And so one of the things that we tell people is the thing that we do is we schwack people. We want to see people, hear people, understand people, appreciate people, and connect with people.
That's right.
And I think that's what he did by being a positive disruptor, by slowing down, by creating a safe space. So what we challenge you to do this week is when you respond, take one extra beat before you respond.
That could save a lot of road rage and a lot of
maybe replace
stress.
That thing you're going to cut you like I just did now. This is a good example of what not to do. But instead of launching into your thoughts or your take that breath, because to that point, I think a lot of times we get into these situations because we escalated, because we just jumped in, because we were I'm certainly not thinking about any recent Oval Office or White House event that happened today. But what I'm saying is, I think a lot of times if we can just take a breath, and just put that space there and not feel the need to fill it, I think that would be a good nod to Mr. Rogers.
Yeah, and the thing is, I think we all are wired that we want to be seen and heard, and when we don't have those relationships in our lives, we feel like we have to make ourselves, so we get louder and we get bigger. And sometimes there's just something about finding your people, finding your tribe, and just get small with your tribe. Just get small with your people, and just let there be moments of silence. Like earlier tonight, one of the things that we do when we get together and work, and we've got a couple of gigs coming up, so we were doing some work today. But I looked at Mo and I said, "Can we just play a game?" And there's a couple of games there's some games that we play where we're very loud and obnoxious, but there are other games where we played Sagrada tonight, and we literally, I don't think we talk hardly at all. And it's just so nice to just be present and just be still and just let that be a moment. Yeah. So don't be afraid of slowing down. Don't be afraid of the silence. And that's the challenge, is just pay attention to how you react and take the time to take a beat, take a breath. And
then respond.
Instead of react.
Yeah. And go watch Mr. I gotta go back and binge because I missed. He did. How many years did he do it?
Oh my gosh,
33.
Yeah, long time.
So I missed 33 years. I gotta go binge.
You gotta make up for it. So good.
Yeah.
But I'm telling you, Lady Elaine, terrifying.
Good. We will make her the cover for this podcast. Awesome.
All right. So. As we continue to look at people who are positive disruptors, we want to remind you that from the monumental to the mundane,
life is filled with unforgettable experiences.
And thank you for letting us be a part of your life.
We love you and we schwack you.
That's right.
We're going to go walk the dog now.
Okay, bye.
Okay, bye. What are we, the Mo and Katy show?
Yes. The camera being straight is important. You being straight
one of the hosts is not.
Hey, what do one of the hosts of the show and the camera have in common? They're not
Asian.
Straight. Make it look natural.
Of course, we have no idea what the dog's going to do.
She is chasing shadows. Oh, you know what? She's chasing my watch. I'm going to take my watch off. The glare is gone.
You have a crazy dog. I don't. She's making a nest.
She is.
No!
Oh. She's not making a nest.
She is making a mess.
She's making a mess. So Mr. Rogers teaches us to slow down.
And take the dog out.
The dog is going to be held for the remainder of the show today. See, this is a good lesson, Moe. This is where Mo still tries not to say cuss words.
Well, here's the other thing. Life is not perfect. This dog is not perfect.
That's right.
She does need to go out.
She just went out. Well.
Son of a bitch. Can you take her out, please?
Yep.
I will make your bed.